Hello and welcome to Lotus Center. Let's use this practice to make peace with ourselves, just as we are, and just as everything in our life is. So if anything doesn't feel good to your body today for any reason, please stop and adjust or do something differently so that this can be a really nurturing practice for you to be able to allow the body's wisdom to come through. We will focus today on strengthening the abdominal muscles, part of the core, as well as the back core muscles. So in particular, low back, and strengthening and stretching around the SI joints, the sacroiliac joints. In the practice that we'll be doing, this in particular has been very supportive for me while I've been working with some achy SI joints, sacroiliac joints. Have it feel good to your body. So in forward folding, forward bending, if you're not feeling good in the low back, come into a half version of the pose or skip that altogether. So let's get started on our backs. As you settle in on the back, make sure you have a block or something that is in this basic shape available. It could even be a firm pillow if you don't have a block or a book or a box, a firm, steady box this size. We'll put the block aside for now and relax onto the back. Position the shoulders so that they feel comfortable, dropping down away from the ears. Position the head so that the neck is comfortable. You may want to bend your knees so that the low back is fully supported, and take a few breath cycles. Allow the abdomen to move. So this movement with the breath, with the abdomen, helps to tone naturally with every breath. Allow whatever is happening surrounding this body-mind with love, just as you are. Now, draw the right knee in towards the chest and hold the stretch in whatever way feels the most comfortable. You can slide the left heel forward until the left leg is flat on the mat, or leave the left foot flat on the mat. Take a moment to breathe here, adjusting the neck, the shoulders so that they remain comfortable. Press out through the left heel if the leg is extended. And we're going to add a couple of nuances to this basic stretch to help strengthen and stretch around the SI joint. First, keep the hands below your right knee and press down through the hands, so pressing the hands down towards the mat, and attempt to press the right knee into the hands away from your torso. See if you can do that very actively so the arm strength is building here as well. Now let's release that and do the opposite, where we'll bring both hands. You can stack the hands one on top of the other and front of your thigh, pressing above the knee. And begin to press harder so that the knee must press down in order to stay in the same position. So actively having the hands press the knee away, the knee pressing downward towards the mat. So let's do that again. We'll release that and let's come back with the hands below the knee. Begin to press the hands down and allow the knee to firmly press into the hands. Breathe here, and let's change again to where hands are now stacked on top of the right thigh, and press the hands into the thigh, pressing the knee down. Good. And release that. Let's place the right foot down on the mat. Draw the left knee in. If you'd like, you can stretch the right leg flat with the right toes pointing up towards the ceiling. And enjoy this stretch. Breathe, allow the abdomen to move with the breath. And then let's play with that little variation of this stretch that focuses on the SI joint. So we'll leave the hands below your left knee. You can interlace the fingers if you'd like, whatever's comfortable. Begin to press the hands down as you press the knee into the hands, pressing the knee away from the torso. Actively feel the energy of the arms engaging to have this stretch be very active. Release that and place the hands stacked one on top of the other, on top of the left knee. Begin to press the knee away from the torso as the knee presses down so that the knee isn't moving, but it's very active. Let's do that one more time. Release that, place the hands below the knee now. And this time be more conscious of the energy in the abdomen to support this stability. So engaging the muscles of the abdomen. Press the hands down. Press the knee into the hands, pressing the knee away from the torso. Engage the muscles of the abdomen. So feel the navel drawing downward, feel the side waist drawing inward, and zip up the low belly. Keep the abdominals working. Release the stretch. Bring hands to the front of the thigh, above the knee. Press the hands into the thigh so that the knee is pressing away, but the knee is actively pressing down. Engage the muscles of the abdomen. And then release that. Let's draw both knees in towards your chest. And take the hands now on top of the knees and begin to draw a circle. The knees moving in the same direction. Notice the massaging effect on the low back, around the sacrum. Reverse the circle. Bring the knees back over the hips and reach for one of your blocks, or it could be a firm pillow, and let's place the block in between the knees. The hands can relax down by your sides. Engage the muscles of your core and circle the knees one more time, once or twice in each direction. So changing directions. And then we'll bring the knees over the hips once more and engage the muscles of the core actively, the abdominals active, and draw the knees towards you a little bit. And as you exhale, draw the knees away from you until you feel a little more challenge in your core. Breathe in and draw the knees in, and as you exhale, bring the knees away. As we're doing this, become more aware of hugging the block with your knees. Let's do a few more. Let's do one more breath cycle. Then bring the knees up. And then bring the hands away from the torso and draw the knees over towards the right side. You can hover, or you can let the knees move all the way down. If you'd like, you can place a second block under your right thigh. Take one more breath in and out. And then as you breathe in, let's bring the knees up and exhale the knees over towards the left side. You can hover, maybe using more of the oblique energy and strength here, or you can have this be a deeper twist, allowing the knees to drop all the way over to the left, perhaps supporting this with another prop, a blanket or a block under your left thigh. Take one more breath in and exhale. Breathe in as you bring the knees back up over the hips. Release your block off to the side, away from the mat. Hug both knees in toward your chest. And allow any movement that feels good. You can pedal the knees forward and back, or move the knees around, or stretch the legs up. Whatever the wisdom of your body is saying would feel good. We'll just take a couple more, 2 or 3 more breath cycles, allowing the body to warm up into this practice. The practice ultimately of making peace with what is, with ourselves, just as we are. And now roll up or roll to one side and then come up to hands and knees. Coming onto hands and knees, let's just begin with dropping the hips over to one side and then the other. If you've got any sense of achy strain in the low back, please be gentle with this practice. Bring hips over the knees and imagine your tailbone being a pointer, and we're going to just draw the pointer around in a circle. So see if you can find a movement that would allow the tailbone to circle. Very small movement. And then begin to reverse the circle there. Very small movement. Beginning to tune in to the articulation around the low back, the lower part of our spine. And then let the hips come back to neutral over the knees. Breathe in and let's tilt the tailbone and chest up into cow pose and exhale into cat. Continue a couple more breath cycles, breathing in as as you come into cow pose. Exhale, find your abdominal strength as you move into cat. We'll take another breath in, and you can either continue in cat-cow, or as you exhale, come into downward facing dog. So you can try a couple things in down dog. Bending one knee and pressing the other heel down. Pedaling the knees, see how that might feel to the sacrum, low back, the SI joints. Of course, if you're on hands and knees, you can come back to whatever movement we were doing earlier. Swaying the hips from side to side, circling the hips. And you can continue with pedaling the legs if you're in down dog, or you can stretch one leg up in this one-legged down dog, bend that lifted knee, and begin to point the knee out to the side. If you're doing that one-legged down dog, gently lower that foot and try the other leg. Lifting the leg up, bending the knee, pointing the knee out. You can do that movement also from hands and knees. And let's lower the lifted leg if you were doing that variation of down dog. Take one more breath in. As you exhale, bring the feet forward and come into a standing forward fold. This is where you can find what feels the best. If this does not feel good to low back today, a couple things to try. One is bending your knees a little bit more. Another is coming up into a half version, so lifting the torso until it does feel good to the back. And regardless, let's all actively lift the abdomen up towards the spine. So we'll take 2 more breath cycles. Breathing in for lengthening the spine, lengthening the legs, and exhale, draw into the abdominal muscles. One more breath in and out. On your breath in, press down to the feet, lift the chest, lift the arms up, and exhale, bring the hands down, come into this Anjali Mudra, palms at heart center. Take a couple breath cycles to reconnect with this intention of peace, making peace with ourselves, just as we are. Now bring the hands down. Grab your block or firm pillow or box, whatever you're using to substitute for a block, and we'll point towards the front of your mat and place the block in between your thighs. And have your feet positioned such that you can really feel the squeezing inward of your legs onto the block. If you tend to hyperextend the low back, be more conscious of lengthening the low back, dropping the tailbone slightly, and engaging your core muscles. So the whole torso has this liftedness and drawing into center. We'll bring the arms forward, about shoulder height. Take a breath in, and exhale, bend the knees, and come into chair pose. And again, take a moment to just find what position in chair feels the best to your low back today. Whether you'd like to go lower in your pose, bending the knees more, or less. See what feels better. As you breathe in, straighten the knees and bring the arms up overhead. Squeeze the block. Exhale, come back to chair pose, arms forward. Let's do that once more. Inhale, arms up. Lengthen, exhale, hips back. do this one more time. Inhale to lift, and this time exhale and stretch over to the right side. Keep your grounding, keep the thighs squeezing in towards your block. Breathe in and lengthen. Exhale to the left. Breathe in and lengthen. Squeeze the block. Exhale, chair pose. This time we'll interlace the hands in front with the palms facing. Breathe in, straighten. Bring the arms up overhead. If that does not feel good, have the fingers apart. Exhale, let's stretch over to the right. Squeeze the block. Inhale, up. Exhale, left, squeezing the block. Breathe in and come up. Exhale, chair pose. This time, let's press the palms away from the chest. If that doesn't feel good, then do another variation with the palms forward or the hands apart. With your next inhale, let's squeeze the block and straighten the legs, arms up overhead. Exhale, stretch over to the right side. Breathe in and come up. Exhale to the left. Breathe in and come up. And exhale, chair pose. Release the arms down. Staying in chair. Squeeze the block. As you breathe in, let's bring the arms up overhead. Straighten the legs. Exhale, bend the knees. Bring the arms down. Squeeze the block. Breathing in to lengthen upwards. And exhale, bend the knees. Hands come down. Let's do one more like that. Breathing in, lifting, and exhale. Lower the arms and hands. Breathe in and lift up. And exhale, bring the arms down. Let's release the block off to one side. And come to mountain pose. Point towards the front of your mat. Bring palms together at heart center, reconnecting with making peace, being peace. We'll move through some sun salutations. Feel free to modify or adjust or add any variation that feels the best to you. As you breathe in, let's open the arms and lift up. Exhale into your forward fold. Breathe in and come into a half fold. And then exhale, bring the hands down, step or hop the feet back, transitioning down. Breathe in and come into the back bend of your choice. And exhale, let's come into downward facing dog or child's pose or any other resting position. Notice your breath. Take one more breath in. On or after the exhale, bring the feet forward. Breathe in as you lengthen, coming into your half fold. And exhale, either stay there or fold more deeply, whatever feels better. Breathe in, stretch all the way up, lengthen. Exhale, bring palms to heart center, and let's continue. Breathe in as you open wide and lift the heart space. Exhale, hinge forward. Breathe in as you lengthen in your half fold. As you exhale, transition, coming down. Breathe in, lifting into a back bend that feels good to low back. And exhale, lift the hips, come into down dog or into any resting pose. This is a good time as we pause here to check in response the body is giving. Recommit to making peace, trusting internal wisdom to guide the practice. And now let's transition to standing. We'll take another deep breath in. On or after your exhale, bring feet forward. Inhale into your half fold. Exhale, hinge more deeply if that's feeling good. Breathe in, stretch up. And exhale, bring palms to heart center. We'll add chair pose and the warrior series. So breathe in, let's bend the knees and lift the arms into chair pose, and then exhale, fold forward. Breathe in, look forward in your half fold. As you exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back, going through this flow, the Vinyasa. Coming into down dog, we will move into warrior one with the left foot forward. So managing this transition in a way that feels the best to your body today. Breathe as you move, and we'll bring the left foot forward, planting the right heel, move into warrior one. If you're feeling any achiness or strain in low back or SI joints, it might feel good to shorten the stance today. For all of us, we're going to bring the arms down and let the shoulders roll up towards the ears and back and down. Hands by the hips or slightly behind the hips, whatever's comfortable for the shoulders. We'll breathe in and open the arms wider apart as you straighten the left knee. And as you exhale, bend the left knee, squeeze the arms closer together, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. So we'll breathe in, arms a little wider as you straighten the leg, and exhale, bend the left knee, lift the chest, engage your core and the upper arms. Let's do a couple more like that. Breathing in, open arms, exhale, squeezing arms, shoulder blades, lifting the chest. One more. Now, breathe in, leave the knee bent, bring palms together at heart center. Exhale, lean forward. Lean forward so that you have a long line in your spine. We'll use the core muscles to help stabilize. Staying in that position, let's bring the hands pointing down towards your mat. Breathe in and point the hands back. And exhale, bring the hands down. Let's do 3 more. Trust your stability, bring hands back on an inhale, and exhale, down. After this exhale, breathe in, bring arms forward and up as you straighten the left leg, and then pivot so that you're facing the long edge of your mat and point the toes out towards the corners. Breathe in, create length in the body. Exhale, bend your knees and bring the arms forward at shoulder height. Let's pause here for a moment. See if you can refine this just a tad. Knees, of course, are pointing towards the feet, but also see if you can have a very subtle sensation of drawing the heels towards one another. This will help to strengthen the muscles around the core, especially around the SI joints. As you breathe in, let's stretch the arms up, straighten the legs. Exhale, bend the knees, have that sensation of the heels drawing towards one another. Let's do 2 more. And breathe in, we'll straighten the legs. And exhale, bring the hands at shoulder height, the arms stretching out. And then point the toes towards the back of your mat and bend your right knee. Yes, right knee, warrior 2. Turn the right palm up and come into kind of a half version of peaceful warrior. We'll lower the left arm and lift the right arm up towards the ceiling until you feel this length in the right side body, and then add a little stretch back if that feels okay to the low back. Take 1 more breath in. As you exhale, straighten the right leg, stretch into triangle pose. Use your core muscles to help support low back. Arrange the arms in whatever way feels the best to the body. From here, take a breath in and lift up, and then exhale, warrior 2. Turn the right palm up again, breathe in, peaceful warrior. This time, exhale and transition to side angle. Use your core muscles. Again, if low back is complaining, do a version of this that feels better, perhaps not leaning over as far or shortening the stance slightly so that your feet are not as wide apart. You're welcome to stay in side angle for a few more breath cycles, or if you wish, you could transition to half moon. So stepping into the right foot, shorten the stance a bit. If you'd like, you can reach for one of your blocks, placing the hand or your block in front of the right pinky toe, stacking the hips, perhaps also lifting the left arm. Find your core muscles. And let's all transition to come back to warrior 2. So stepping the left foot down, stretching the arms wide. Let's turn the right palm up once more. Breathe in, peaceful warrior. On your exhale, bring both hands down to the mat. This will be the back side of your mat. And slip the right foot back. Feel free to move through the Vinyasa or pause in plank pose or any resting pose. And let's come to downward facing dog. This time, we'll inhale and reach right leg back, or any transition that feels good to you. We're going to bring right foot forward and establish warrior 1. Again, feel free to shorten the stance here if the low back or hips appreciate that. Bring the arms down. Draw the shoulders up and back and down. Bring hands down by your hips or behind the hips. Open the arms a little wider apart. Straighten the right knee. Breathe in. As you exhale, bend the right knee. Bring the upper arms towards one another. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Lift the chest. Breathe in. Arms wide. knee straightens. Exhale, bend the knee, lift the chest and squeeze the shoulder blades. Let's do a couple more. Breathe in, arms wide. Exhale, squeezing, lifting the chest. One more. As you breathe in, let's bring the arms wide and bring palms together at heart center. Bend your right knee and take a breath in. Exhale, lean forward. Take a moment to relax the neck and create a long line from the crown of your head to the left heel. Point the hands down towards the mat. As you breathe in, point the hands back by your hips or behind. And exhale, draw the hands to point down. Let's do 3 more. Breathing in, spreading the collarbones, opening the chest. Exhale, hands down. With your next breath in, let's bring arms forward and up, straighten your right leg, and exhale, swivel to point to the long edge of your mat again. Arrange the toes to point out to the corners. This time, let's interlace the fingers, either palms facing down or up, whatever feels good. If that doesn't feel good, keep the hands apart. Breathe in here, exhale, bend the knees, and bring the arms forward. Find that little subtle refinement of drawing the heels towards one another. With your next breath in, let's straighten the legs and lift the arms. And exhale, bend the knees, arms forward. Let's do a couple more. As you breathe in, we'll bring the arms up, straighten the legs. Exhale, arms to shoulder height. Point the toes towards the front of your mat, and we'll come into Warrior Two with the left knee bent. If you've already done this side, do the other side. From this position, turn the left palm up. And let's take a moment and do a kind of a half version of Peaceful Warrior. Relax the right arm down, lift the left hand a little higher so you feel more length along the left side. You can stay here, or if it feels good, you can stretch back slightly to deepen the side stretch. Peaceful Warrior. Take another breath in, and then as you exhale, transition to triangle. Straightening the left leg, lengthening the torso, engaging the core muscles. Arrange the arms in whatever way feels the best to your body. As we breathe in, let's lift the torso and exhale back to Warrior Two. Turn left palm up. Breathe in, Peaceful Warrior. As you exhale, let's come into side angle. You could rest your left forearm on the thigh. Any variation of the arms. And you're welcome to stay right here or come back to Warrior Two, or transition to half moon balance, Ardha Chandrasana. So you can shorten your stance, stepping into the left foot, reaching for a block or the mat with hand under the shoulder, lifting the right leg, engage your core. We're staying here long enough to breathe, so let's just take one more conscious breath in and out. And then let's all transition back to Warrior Two. Turn the left palm up. Breathe in, Peaceful Warrior. As you exhale, bring the hands down to the mat. Slip the left foot back. Move through your flow, your Vinyasa, or pause, perhaps in a resting pose or plank pose. And now let's come down to the belly, and we'll play around with a prone back bend with an emphasis on strengthening the low back. So, lower down in a way that feels good to you. And if being on your belly does not feel good to your back, you may want to come onto the back and do a very gentle bridge pose instead. But if being on your belly is okay, let's first come all the way down and rest your forehead down. You may want to rest the forehead down on stacked palms or on a blanket. And we'll refine the back body a little more before we begin. So locate your pubic bone and gently press it downward, down to the mat. And also engage the muscles of your abdomen. If you tend to hyperextend the low back, be aware of lengthening the low back here. And while we're feeling this pressing down with the pubic bone, and we have this lift of the abdominal muscles, or squeezing in of the abdominal muscles, see if you can also become aware or imagine engagement of the muscles around the SI joints, around the sacrum and low back. For some, you may sense this as a gentle squeezing or attempting to lift, even though the hips are not lifting. You're still pressing down to the pubic bone, but get a sense of trying to lift the hips away from the mat. Putting a little more emphasis on the low back and SI joints. So from here, let's keep that action if you can, and we'll bring our hands down to the mat. And with very little or no weight on the hands, lift the chest. Keep the neck and shoulders relaxing. You can stay here. This is a very good back strengthener, or if you wish, you could press down through the hands and lift maybe halfway to what you could do in your range of motion here in your back bend. Move halfway into that. Again, find this refinement of drawing the pubic bone down towards the mat, lifting through the core muscles of the abdomen, and attempting to squeeze or lift through the muscles around, tissue around the SI joints. You could stay here for another few breath cycles, or perhaps lift a little higher. Trust your body's wisdom to know what position to be in that feels the most strengthening to your body. Let's take one more breath in. As you exhale, lower down, and take a moment to relax. You can bring one cheek to the mat or your forehead on your palms, your stacked hands. Breathe fully so that you can feel the breath moving the abdomen With your imagination, you could send the breath into the area around your low back. And now let's come onto the back and have a block handy. We're not going to use it right away. Come onto the back. Have the knees bent with your feet on the mat. Shoulders comfortable. And let's cross the right ankle over the left knee. And we're going to play around here. You might just experience a rocking of the pelvis, gentle massage to the back of the pelvis and sacrum around the SI joints. And then we're going to change this position of the leg. See how it feels to slide the leg a little more up towards the middle part of the lower leg. So halfway between the ankle and the knee, perhaps. And see how that position feels. Maybe rocking from side to side. And then let's cross at the knees. Again, maybe a gentle rocking. If that doesn't feel good, then you know you're not supposed to do that. And so you can continue that or do it one more time, crossing at the ankle. If you're not feeling much stretch in the right hip, bring your left knee towards you. Support the stretch with your hands in whatever way feels best. Again, you may want to add a little movement from side to side. Breathe, coaxing the tissue around the hips and pelvis, sacrum to gently release. Let's come halfway up between the ankle and the knee now, crossing at that point. Again, perhaps adding a little movement or not. And then cross at the knee. And then bring the feet down, uncross the legs, and let's do the other side. We'll cross the left ankle over the right knee, maybe adding a little rocking here. Keeping it gentle so we allow the muscles to relax, allow the tissue to feel ease here. Crossing halfway up. Similar movement, rocking if that feels good. Then try it at the knee. Crossing the knees, gentle movement. Let's try that once more. Crossing at the ankle now, ankle across your right knee. You may choose to draw the right knee towards you, finding a little movement if that feels good. Keeping the shoulders and neck relaxed and breathing easily. Now let's try that halfway up between the ankle and the knee. See how that feels. If ever you're feeling strain in the knee, do less. Now let's try crossing at the knees. And we'll bring the feet down to the mat, uncross the knees. And we're going to take a block and place it in between your knees. Arrange the feet so that the block feels like it's being hugged by your knees. So you have some engagement of your legs, your thighs, hugging inward. And we're going to do a very small version of bridge pose. We're not trying to create a back bend. We're trying to really create kind of like a plank, a neutral spine, slightly angled upward. Let's see how that might be. So lift the hips off of the mat and see if you can just create a straight line, maybe lifting the hips a little bit higher so you have a straight line between the knees and the shoulders. You can adjust the shoulders so that they feel sufficiently grounding, like a key part of the foundation. Keep your gaze towards the ceiling so the neck stays neutral. Squeeze the block. And we'll just do a few breath cycles where on an inhale, let the hips drop a little bit. As you exhale, bring the hips up, squeeze the core muscles, squeeze the block. Breathe in to draw the hips down a little bit. Exhale, squeezing into the muscles of your abdominals. Inhale, release the hips down. Exhale, lift the hips, squeezing the core and the knees. And then breathe in, bring the hips down. Release the block off the mat. Draw your right knee in towards the chest. If you'd like, you can stretch the left leg flat on the mat. Let's change sides. Bring the left knee in, stretch right leg flat on the mat if that's comfortable. Now let's bring both feet on the mat. We'll come back to crossing the right ankle over the left knee or thigh. You could either keep the left foot down or draw the knee towards you. Take a moment and simply allow the stretch. Begin to slide the right leg so that you're crossing at the midway point between ankle and knee. And now cross at the knees. Place the left foot down if it's lifted. Keep the knees crossed. Crossing at the knees. We'll place hands behind your head to support the neck. We'll add a little core version here, core variation, so that we're building muscles in the core, but we're not straining the back. So if you feel like the back is doing the work, keep the feet down, do less. So let's check that out. First, we're going to just lift the left foot off of the mat and engage your core muscles. Again, if the muscles in your core are not sufficient to prevent the back from feeling strained, keep the left foot down. From here, take a breath in. As you exhale, bring the chest and the knees together. Of course, if you're keeping your feet on the mat, just lift the chest. As you breathe in, separate the knees and the chest. Exhale, draw the knees together. The knees and chest towards one another. Let's Continue. Let's do another 4. And let's do one last set of 4. When you feel complete, bring the shoulders down, bring both feet to the mat, and then we'll cross the right knee over the left again, and we'll add a twist here. So let's slide the hips over towards the right, bring the knees over towards the left. If you wish, you can bring a block under the legs. Take one breath in and out. As you breathe in, bring the knees up, uncross the legs, realign the hips with the shoulders, and let's cross the left ankle at the right knee. If you wish, you can bring the right knee towards you. Relax your jaw and let yourself breathe freely. See how it would be to cross at the midway point between the left ankle and the left knee. And then cross at the knees. Let's bring the right foot down if it's lifted. Keep the knees crossed. Bring your hands behind your head. Either keep the right foot down, or you could lift the right foot and just check to see if your core muscles are feeling sufficient to keep the low back from feeling any degree of strain or pain. If so, keep the foot lifted. On your next exhale, lift the chest, and you could draw the chest and knees towards one another. As you breathe in, we'll bring them apart, and exhale, bring them towards one another. Continue. Feel the muscles of your core, especially on every exhale. Let's do another 4. And then our last 4. Of course, if your body's wisdom told you a while back to stop, you're listening to that. On an inhale, let's call this complete and bring the right foot down. Keep the knees crossed. We'll slide the hips over towards the left side of the mat. Let the knees move over to the right side into this twist. Of course, if that does not feel the best, you could uncross the legs and come into a different variation of twist, or bring the knees up all together. Let's just take one more breath in and out here. Breathe in to bring the knees up. Slide the hips till they're level with the shoulders and across the legs. Let's bring the right knee in towards your chest. If it feels good, you can stretch the left leg flat, pointing the left toes up towards the ceiling. And relax the shoulders away from your ears. And then let's bring the hands behind your right thigh and press the thigh into your hands. So the knee, right knee, perhaps is more over the hip than your abdomen. Begin to straighten the right leg. If you wish, you could add a little ankle rotation here, 1 or 2 in each direction. And now let's either stay where you are. If you're feeling a sufficient stretch for the hamstrings, stay here. If not, you could gently draw the right thigh towards the abdomen. Bend your right knee, but have the foot positioned so that the sole of the foot is more or less pointing towards the ceiling. And then using your right hand, let's draw the right knee out, more in line with your right shoulder. A half version of Happy Baby. So you could pause here with your hand resting behind your right thigh, or you could reach your right hand inside and clasp the ankle, or outside the right foot, clasping there. One way to make this more active would be to actively use your hand, wherever it's placed, to draw downward as you're pressing your right thigh or foot upward. So that dynamic stretch. Gently release that. Bring the knee in towards your chest and give it a gentle stretch. Place the right foot on the mat, draw the left knee in. If it feels good, you could straighten the right leg with the right toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Relax the shoulders, relax your jaw. Feel the breath. Change position of the hands so that they're now under your left thigh. And press the thigh into the hands so that your knee is more over your left hip. And then stretch the left heel up towards the ceiling. Don't force the left knee to straighten. If you're feeling a sufficient stretch without the knee straightening, keep a little bend in your knee. Don't strain. If it feels good, you could add a little rotation for the left ankle, once or twice in each direction. If you're not feeling a sufficient stretch in the hamstrings, left hamstrings, draw the left thigh more closely towards your abdomen. And bend your left knee. Draw the knee out towards the side, more in line with your shoulder or beyond. Keeping the foot so that the sole of the foot is pointing up. You can leave your left hand behind your thigh or reach inside the leg to have it come to the heel or outside the foot, clasping there. Half Happy Baby. If you wish, you can add more of a dynamic stretch here by using your hand wherever it's placed to draw downward, drawing this left shoulder downward, drawing the sacrum downward. as you attempt to press the thigh, left foot upward. Let's release this gently. Release the hand, draw the left knee, ease the knee in towards your chest. And then let's bring both knees in towards your chest. Feel free to add any rocking or circling of the knees, coming back to a gentle stretch, gentle massage to the low back, around the sacrum. Whenever you feel ready, let's bring the feet to the mat. Relax the shoulders and the arms. Bring the head into a position that's comfortable for the neck. If you wish, you could put a blanket under the head. And let's come into our last pose of corpse pose, Shavasana. You could support your legs with a set of blankets underneath the knees, or pillows underneath the knees, or simply have them flat, or keep the feet on the mat. Whatever feels the most comfortable and easy for the back body. Take a moment and make any adjustments so that the body feels comfortable enough to relax completely. Bring your awareness down into the hips, down into the low back. Allow this area to get heavy and relax. Allow your breath to move the energy of peace throughout the body. Move the energy of love and acceptance throughout the body-mind. Stay here as long as you wish, as long as you're able, and receive the benefits of being this awareness of peace. Blessings.